binge spot some football. All my sports teams off season go through withdrawals, 30 minutes to tip off. Like Rakim was saying, weak ideas give me ear problems. Sound like thunder and rain. I'm excited that you came on this journey with 3 of my friends. Defy life till we die and grow wings. Just a different perspective. Haters in every direction. Refuse to live my life based off your projections. Their expectations are lazy. My expectations are crazy. My lady defies me. Goose, Brown, Brady, Jordan, LeBron, Aaron, Bonds, Mayweather, Ali Foreman. You get the picture, greatest ever born. I attack without warning. This is not around the horn. The other shows whack, a lot of yawning. You really want to be the best, got to pay the price. We make winning look easy. Welcome to Defy Life. Defy Life.
Welcome to the Defy Life Podcast, brought to you by GoDefyLife.com. I'm your host, J.R. Glenf, joined as always by my co-hosts, Thomas Stevens, Keon Small, Alvin Glenf. How you doing today, Thomas?
Doing very, very well, sir. And you?
I'm good. Thank you. Keon, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing wonderful, man. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you. And Alvin Glenf, how's it going today, sir?
Liz doing pretty good.
Cool. Well, we are a quarter of the way through the NFL season. No need to hesitate. Really quickly, scale of 1 to, I just had my first sexual experience with a pretty girl. How are you feeling about your favorite team? On a scale of 1 to I just got my first sexual experience.
Oh, all right. I missed the other part.
You're getting old, man. You got to listen faster.
I was a little off there for a second too, but I'm with you now.
You getting old too. You got to listen faster. Pooh, you caught it, right?
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah. You on your own, bro.
All right. Well, maybe y'all don't like having sex with pretty girls. I don't know. But on a scale of 1 to whatever makes you happy, how are you feeling right now about your Chicago Bears, Thomas Stevens?
Oh, wow. Had to start with me on this one. Man, we are who I thought we were. I want to start off with that. We are who I thought we were. We're pretty, we're pretty decent on D. We have talent on D. We need to build. We need to get weapons. We need to get guys that are strong, fast, that are playmakers on offense at the wide receiver position. We need to see what our young quarterback can do. I guess the overall grade, man, I'll probably give us a D. I like our running backs. I like our O-line. I need to see what our quarterback can do. I like what we have on D. But our game plan, and Darryl Loggins was, if I'm not mistaken, he was a wizard or something with the Bills. Wasn't he the coordinator with the Bills a few years back?
Yeah.
And he did something, great with Shady McCoy when they didn't have a lot of weapons. So I was expecting him to be able to do that with Howard and Cohen and move Cohen around. But that last game against Green Bay, Cohen had 4 touches in the first half. He wasn't in on third downs. He wasn't in on the early downs at slot or outside receiver. He just wasn't in the game, and it showed. We had maybe, 98 total yards in the first half of the Green Bay game. So he really has to pick that up. But I'll go back to this again, man. I'll give us a D for this first quarter.
All right. So were you able to get a refund on that Mike Glennon jersey?
I wouldn't ever buy that, man. I'm good with the Cohen jersey. I got this Cohen jersey. I'm going with the HBCU guy.
All right.
That's what's up.
Cool. All right. Keon Small, scale of 1 to whatever floats your boat. On your Atlanta Falcons, how we feeling?
Probably like 8 now. It would have been 10 if there wasn't for the bullshit call by the referees that how you gonna fumble the ball forward 10 yards in the air. But besides that, I'm happy. 3-1 is cool. It's not as good as 4-0, but I'm good. The Falcons are playing well. Not like last year, but it looks just like last year because last year we started kind of I don't know. And then of course the middle of the season, they caught fire. You know what I mean? So we got the bye coming up. Julio's already been announced that he's not going to miss any time. We got the Dolphins. That's like the perfect opponent to play after a bye. And then we got the Patriots. So I feel good. Everything's cool. But put it this way: they say the NFL season is 4 quarters, and we went the first quarter 3-1. Yeah. So I feel good.
Okay, good. Alvin, we always have to save you for last because you're the only one of us who has blessed himself with 2 teams.
Hey.
But I will say this. Go ahead.
So I'm used to rooting. I got 2 football teams, 2 baseball teams, 2 basketball teams, 2 hockey teams. I'm just greedy like that.
Are you a Mets fan too?
Nah, I'm a Yankees fan.
And a Dodgers fan.
2? You said 2. Oh,
I'm a Yankee and a Dodgers fan. So in every sport, except for hockey, I claim 2 teams.
Okay.
All right. Well, like I texted earlier this week, it was immediately after the Cowboys lost, so I figured I'd get no response from you. But I bet at this point, a quarter of the way through the season, there is no way imaginable you would have thought that the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Jets would have matching records.
No, but nor would I have thought the Jets would have a better record than the Giants. So the Jets is just a surprising team right now.
Absolutely. All right. So, what in particular is their recipe right now for the Jets? Why are you could call this at this point for the Jets, considering a lot of people were calling them one of the worst teams in the history of the league when the season started. This is kind of a monumental success for Todd Bowles. What are they doing in New York?
Well, first of all, remember I said they was going to be better than people thought, right? So I said 6 games, and people was like, but the truth
and by
is,
people you mean Keon?
Yeah, I ain't want to throw him under the bus, but his giggle gave him away.
It's 2 games. Oh, go ahead.
His giggle gave him away.
All right.
But I think when you look at the team, the secret is the defense is playing well, and McCown is playing much better than people anticipated. We've got a running game, surprisingly, and I think Bowles has done an admirable job having them compete and play and just ignore the noise, especially in New York City, but really nationally. Everybody was saying they was tanking because they got rid of some old veterans, when if you look around the league, the guys they gave away, like David Harris, Mangold not even starting nowhere, Decker's okay, Marshall's not having a great start with the Giants. So, they basically gave away some overpaid veterans who aren't really producing where they're at right now. So shout out to the GM for making that call like the Patriots would. But since they're in New York, it's a real negative vibe. So people said they was tanking.
I'm willing to put money down they won't win 6, but we can talk about it off the air. Go ahead, brother.
We can talk about that off the air because we got a good head start.
And apparently the New York Jets are only one game worse than the Atlanta Falcons at this point. So,
and the Rams were 3-1 this time last year, but we can, okay,
we are
sure.
where we are, man.
All right, we are where we are.
But the truth is, when the NFL it's a team, it's a league full of parity, and it's also one that's dedicated. Dependent on quarterback play, and so far McCown has been playing decent football. And what got me to just kind of give them some credit in the preseason was I just happened to watch a game where he moved the ball down the field rather easily. And I was like, oh, okay, if this dude can do anything like that, what he's doing on that drive, yeah, we got a shot to win more games than people are predicting.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And, and Josh McCown, he's not he's the epitome of a journeyman. He's going to come in and be a stopgap guy. And my question would be this. I think I asked you this before. But are you cool? Like we talked about, the Jets have never really been able to, I guess you can call it, get over the hump and get the number 1 overall pick and get a franchise quarterback. I think the last time they had that high of a pick, they took Mark Sanchez at number 6.
Yep.
So they're always just good enough to stay out of that top 3 range. Are you okay with like Josh McCown getting you 6 wins or 4 wins, however many? We know at least 2 right now, and say you get 5-6 wins and you get the 8th, 9th pick. Are you okay with starting that cycle over?
I'm always about winning as much as you can, and I think it's good for fan base, it's good for young players, it's good for just your franchise in general. And when you get to the draft, if you have that 6th pick or 7th pick or 4th pick and you feel like that number one guy, that number one quarterback is going to be the first pick, trade up and get him. That's my attitude. And
Okay,
the other thing is, one quick point. The other thing is, there's no guarantee that high draft pick, the first quarterback, is going to be the best quarterback in the draft. So, you could always still get a Deshaun Watson. He wasn't picked early in the first round. I mean, he was fairly early, but not like in the top 4 picks. So you got time to pick a quarterback, a good quarterback.
Yeah, and that's what, I mean, I know it's easy to say trade up. For one, you got to have a partner. My thing with that is, me and you've talked about this before, is the Jets' dearth of draft picks, first round picks on the offensive side of the ball. I think we said with their last 9 draft picks in the first round have been on defense. Like Sanchez was their last one on offense. So if you continue to either waste those picks or then you're spending future picks to trade up and get a number 1 guy, how does that support your franchise? That's more of a hypothetical question. And then 2, I get that, Deshaun Watson, what was he, the 12th overall pick? Thomas, I'm sure you can tell us that.
Yes, he went 12.
But, how often does that happen?
Not often.
But Dak was picked in the 4th round.
Yeah, Dak was picked in the 4th.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. We can
I'm
go
just
back
saying,
through one guy in every other draft class.
Right.
And maybe once every 3 draft classes. Like we look at Dak in the 4th round. You look at maybe
Russell
you gotta go back
Russell
to
in the 3rd.
3 classes before that. Then you look at Kirk Cousins. So once maybe every other draft class will you find a starting quarterback out of the entire 360 picks who ends up even being a starter. I don't know. That's just always, and I get that. I mean, I know you want to win. My only thing
look at
is
it this way. Look at it this way. The Jets done rolled the dice in the last 3 years. They've rolled the dice with quarterbacks twice and came up snake eyes. So they do.
I don't know about that. What about Alex Smith?
What you mean? Like, would we take him in a trade, or the fact that he was the number 1 pick? I'm not sure what you're
taking him in a trade. Like,
surely after this year.
Nah, I mean, yeah. I'd rather go draft a young quarterback. I mean, if we could get a young quarterback in the trade, okay. But I'm looking for that franchise, put the face of the franchise dude who might be young, and we could build the team around him going forward.
So I have a question for you, Al.
Yes, sir.
I remember when you guys took the safety with Adams out of LSU.
Yeah, Jamal Adams.
Right? You were so. You were gung ho about him. He's this, that. Did you hear what he said in the interview? So going back on the draft, hindsight, and you was like, well, I'm glad we took him. But would you even hesitate on taking him over Deshaun now?
That's a great question, Pooh, because Deshaun Watson is balling.
But I've been singing those praises like he's it. He's it.
And
I'm not sold yet, but
and player for player, I think you always I'd rather have the franchise quarterback than a great safety. So my answer is, Jamal's playing real well, and so is Deshaun Watson. I think I'd rather have Deshaun Watson right now. But that being said, you didn't know that then, so I think Jamal Adams was the safe pick. But the way they're playing right now, if I was to redraft, I would take
Right.
I would take Watson.
It's so early though. That's
it's
remember
early.
RG3?
Yeah, but he's different though than RG3 because I mean this guy really achieved and did more than any quarterback probably since who, Jay Winston, like Jameis Winston.
Yeah, and he's running an actual NFL offense.
NFL offense. No, RG3 wasn't doing that. RG was read and react to like all of his read was all preconceived. Yeah, it was preconceived, but this guy's read going from first, second, third, fourth progression. It's different. It's totally different than RG3. They're not in the same boat. They're not in the same boat.
Yeah, and I say that, but I mean, in this case, I kind of lean towards Keanu. It's very early.
No, it's early.
Yeah. And so it is difficult to tell. I definitely understand the question. I guess if we were to look at Deshaun Watson's ceiling at this point, we know
right, okay.
If we were to look at his ceiling at this point, who would we like? Maybe Jameis Winston, that level. I'm not saying comparing them as players, but I'm saying the level of quarterback. Maybe Jameis, maybe Phillip Rivers, Vince Young.
I don't know.
No, but
I'm not saying skill set. I'm just saying what tier of quarterback. I'm not saying other mobile, dual threat. I'm just saying what tier. I definitely don't see him being a Brady or a Breeze, throwing for 5,000 yards every year. But
I can really.
Russell
I can
Wilson?
see him being a Moon though. No, I can see him being a Moon. I can. He's not as accurate as Moon, but I could see it, man. I can see it.
Oh,
I can see
a gun for an arm, yo.
I can see it, man. I can see it. He doesn't have the arm talent.
And what are we talking about then?
But I can see him. I can see him putting up. I can see him putting up numbers.
Yeah,
I mean,
my point in that question was so say when you ask Al about Jamal Adams, so say Deshaun Watson can get to the level, and again, not comparing skill sets and what kind of player. I'm saying the level of the echelon of quarterback that he is. So say he can get to a Matthew Stafford level or Phillip Rivers level, that second tier quarterback, not the top three. Versus say Jamal Adams, he's looking like he's the real. So say you can get that second tier quarterback. Would you take that over a Troy Polamalu or Ed Reed?
That's tough to name those guys, but let's say the second tier is guys included with the guys you named, and also a Matty Ice as well, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna get Matty Ice with the guys that I can put around him, give me the Matty Ice. I mean, Troy Polamalu, those guys changed games. They was definitely game changers. But give me Matty. I'll take Matty Ice. I'll roll with that. I'll roll with Matty Ice for the next 10 years, and see what happens with that.
I guess besides the one,
because Ed Reed is not going to win your Super Bowl himself.
I gotta agree with Pooh because you got to have a quarterback in this league. The way they got the rules all now, you got to have a quarterback. You can't win with a safety. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I was really just throwing stuff around. I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
We honestly, trust me, as a Steelers fan, I definitely understand how it feels to have an elite defense, and you got Cordell Stewart on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
Oh,
man. Yeah. So
Jay Cutler, look at hex me.
Exactly.
We was elite. Oh,
we both had Mike Thompson.
Hey, and Stewart, and
Stewart. See, and Kent Graham.
I was watching the Steelers from a distance. It seemed like they were pretty good with Cordell. They won't win no Super Bowl, but they were how far did they get with him as a quarterback? Then they get in the playoffs.
They
second round, isn't it, Jay?
No, they went to a couple AFC. They went to AFC championships. With Cordell.
Oh, okay.
So what?
But that's what I'm like.
He couldn't beat anybody.
Yes, for the most part, they won in spite of those defenses were legendary defenses. If they won Super Bowls, those defenses would have been mentioned in the same category as 85 Bears. They were that good. But you're not gonna go into Denver and beat John Elway. You're not gonna, you're not gonna, who else? Like, you're not going to beat Tom Brady even back then.
Right, and Indianapolis and
you're not going to beat Peyton, not with Cordell Stewart. So, I think it. There's no coincidence that you drafted Ben Roethlisberger and you win 2 Super Bowls, with those same defenses. So, I absolutely agree. You need a quarterback, and Houston again with that defense they had last year, and they're showing it again this year. One of the better defenses in the last half decade. So, Deshaun Watson can keep it up, and Pooh's right. I mean, he's reading defenses. He's actually manning that offense. There's no gimmicks. He picking apart defenses and making reads and showing progression. So it's sad, for Houston. And it's kind of happy sad because, like, you're happy for, I'm sure they're happy they finally found a quarterback they can feel like they can build around.
Right.
Just think about all the wasted years they've had with the Matt Schaubs and the David Carrs, and it's tough, man, when you got those kind of defense. You got probably one of the best defensive players in the history of the league wasting his years, and now you finally find a quarterback. So, but they in the AFC, so screw them. They got to go through Pittsburgh.
Right.
So.
And that put me in the mind of what and when Key said it, we was like, well, huh? But he was like, yo, if they would have even had Cap, like it's a very, very good chance they would have even been in the Super Bowl to even have a quarterback that was even competent of running an offense. Yeah. And we looking at that, and I mean, rookie guy. Granted, he's not playing like a rookie, but that goes back to what Key said. If you got somebody that can move the ball. That to give that D a rest, man, that D's an elite, and it can go a long way.
Yeah, I think the way he's playing now, had he been, they would have beat the Patriots last year. They would have beat the Patriots last year. Hell, they're probably going to beat the Patriots with him last year when he was at Clemson.
Yeah.
The way that defense was playing, and that defense was probably, at least on paper, better last year than it was this year.
Yeah.
And shoot, they almost beat the Patriots. I mean, it's just a different Patriots team. We'll talk about that. But
right.
But yeah, so. But speaking of, let's talk about them. I'm gonna throw out a quick stat at you guys. I know, Keanu, you love defensive stats when we talk about defensive teams. The Patriots are one of 4 teams in NFL history throughout the first 4 games of the season, to average 32 plus points a game and give up 32 plus points a game.
That's
Only
great.
4 teams in the history of the NFL have done that. And I think that is a perfect dichotomy of the New England Patriots at this point. What are you seeing?
Are you saying after the Super Bowl or just in general?
In general.
Damn.
Through the first 4 games of the season, only 4 teams in the history of the league have averaged 32 and given up an average of 32.
That's great.
Yeah. And also some more stats. The New England Patriots. And this is just weird. These stats stood out to me because you don't expect this from a Bill Belichick coach team. They are the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
Last against the pass. 26th against the run. I think the only defensive stat where they're in the top 20 is interceptions. They have 4. But teams have thrown opposing quarterbacks. The rating of opposing quarterbacks is 116.28.
Wow.
By far the worst in the history of the league throughout the first 4 games. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Any NFL quarterback averaging a rating of 116.2 against your team. That is horrendous. Like, you just don't expect that from a Bill Belichick coach defense.
Wow.
What are you seeing, Keon, from the New England Patriots on defense?
Another reason we got to pump our brakes on Mr. Watson. Not saying he ain't gonna be great, but that he faced the same stats we're giving out. He faced them, and he faced a really bad Titans defense, but to the Patriots. What I hear people saying, and I mean their defense is really bad, but what I watched 2 games of that they played this year, and I'm listening to quote experts speak on, not even quote, because these are the analysts. They're basically saying that the Patriots defense is not so much that they're bad, but they're like lining up in the wrong place, they run in the wrong direction. Now, with my own
too
eyes,
complex, yeah.
well, I didn't get that, but okay, I had a question. So you thinking Belichick is giving them too much? You said that their defense is too complex.
Well, that's what I've heard. They said it was too complex. They're gonna dumb it down.
Okay,
but plus they don't have a middle linebacker. But I mean, they look bad though. They look bad to me.
Like what I saw like against the opening night against the Chiefs was wide open. It was crazy. But more of what I'm saying is that can be corrected. That's Bill Belichick. He can correct this and make them good enough. If they can keep up the 32 point a game on offense part, they can make this defense good enough, maybe by just correcting the lining up wrong, or just running the wrong way, not knowing where you're supposed to be. So I would still bet on the Patriots to pull it together and figure it out. Because it was crazy this game past Sunday against Carolina. It was like they were losing. It was like Tom Brady got the ball, and I'm a little scarred by what happened in February. But at the same time, when Brady got the all right, bro. When Brady got the ball in his hand, I mean, I don't give a damn what the score is. You know what I'm saying? So, more of what I'm saying, I believe they'll be okay. If it's anybody else, I would be scared. But the Patriots, I think they'll be okay. They aren't getting pushed around like other teams. Cowboys, it's getting smacked all around the field and stuff.
I don't know. You mentioned another. We will talk about the Cowboys next. That's where we're going next. But teams are also averaging 5.7 yards per carry against New England. So it's not just. I mean, I get that there are a lot of communication issues on the back end of that defense that they're just leaving like receivers running wide open, but they get pushed around up front too. Like they don't. At this point, I'm starting to question. We're so used to Bill Belichick being able to just plug and play players and X's and O's figuring a lot of that stuff out, that at this point I'm starting to wonder if the trading away the Jamie Collins and the releasing Akeem Hicks and the trading Chandler Jones, like if trading away your best players on defense, letting Logan Ryan walk in free agency, at some point, like those X's and O's have to have names on the back of their jerseys, and if the talent doesn't match up, like you can't just like scheme your way to success, even if you're Bill Belichick. You gotta have. Let me
ask you: is it that like, what is it to you? What is it that you see? Is it that they just getting beat, or is it that what is it? What do you see?
Well, one, for their one big free agent signing, they signed Stephon Gilmore. Absolutely think that was the wrong move. I think they should have signed A.J. Bowie. I think he's a better fit for them. But I can go on and on about that. But Stephon Gilmore is a straight man corner. If he knows what he's doing and he can line, I love him to death. He's Gamecock. But if he has to think too much on the fly, you see what's happening. He's he's not great in making adjustments on the fly. So that's kind of killing him. And again, he's new. So they're, like Pooh said, they're probably going to dumb things down. But what I do see is, like, we're so accustomed to talking about Tom Brady getting older that we forget that, the Allen Branches on that defense, that those guys are getting older too. Allen Branch is not the same player he was a year ago. And when you have to start sliding in, when Dietrich Wise, and I like him as a prospect, but he's a 4th round rookie. When he's your best pass rusher, you got issues. So it's not just the communication issues. This is one of, like, usually I'm with you. I'm like, Belichick will get it fixed. But from what I'm seeing, it's not just communication and new guys learning things. It's a talent issue in New England. And at this point, I'm wondering, should they have, at this point, you got to ask all kind of questions. Should they have traded Jimmy Garoppolo and gotten some more talent on that defense? A lot of things they could have done. But again, like I said, we are where we are. And it's just fun to see Patriots fans panicking, even if we know it's not going to last. It's fun to see.
it's going to self well, whatever. Because Garoppolo is free agent next year, right?
Yes, and
so that's
they're
going to be
probably
interesting.
not going to be able to afford him and Brady.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To what happened?
Yeah.
What are they going to do? You know,
Yeah.
ooh, I don't like. I fuck them. I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't either, but it is going to be interesting.
So I like to see this.
But it makes you wonder. I wonder if I don't know. Like, should they have traded Garoppolo instead of Jacoby Brissett? To the Colts and got more than just Philip Dorsett. Like, if you trade Garoppolo right before the season to a desperate Colts team, or anyone who needed a quarterback at the beginning of the season, you probably could have got not just Dorsett, but a first round pick, second round pick. You could have gotten a lot out of them. But now you're going to be left without either one of them because Garoppolo's a free agent. So,
but would that make a difference? Because you picking. So I look at somebody like Tack McKinley or whatever. Like, this is first round, but he ain't really on the field. So it's like a rookie, unless you draft in top 10. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not going to be making that much. Hell, Myles Garrett is not even on the field. Like, even that pays off years.
And I'm just saying, like, for not necessarily just for this year, because if you think about it, like, you're closer to Tom Brady being retired than you are to Stephon Gilmore being through the end of his contract. So, say Brady's got 3 more years left. Like, you still got to plan for the future if you're gonna roll with Brady. So you're not gonna line up this same defense next year. There's no way they're gonna do that. So you got to get something for Garoppolo, even if you can get a decent starter or plug and play player for this year. You can still get a couple draft picks for the next couple years to kind of get you through those last Brady years.
One more question on that. So right now, you pretty much got to make a decision between Garoppolo and Brady. You think they're going to let Garoppolo walk?
Oh, they kind of have to. Well, I ain't gonna say they have to let him walk, but they won't let him walk in spite of Tom Brady.
What's that mean? Wait, what?
They're not going to let. They're going to keep Garoppolo and let Brady walk. Either way, Brady's going to be there. However you look at it, they're not getting rid of Tom Brady.
Really?
So,
okay.
I just don't. I mean, that's me. Crazier things have happened. I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. I just don't see. There's no way. Like, we look at all the players they've let go, and like at the end of their prime, and it hurt Patriots fans to see them walk all the way back to the Troy Browns and the Willie McGinnis and all those Teddy Bruschi's, those guys who Ty Laws, Lawyer Malloy, those were Patriots through and through. They are still not Tom Brady. I just don't see. Like, that's the equivalent to me. That's like the Lakers cutting Magic.
No. But what about what I just said? Joe Montana, and Steve Young.
Yeah, but Joe Montana was coming off of an injury, a season-ending elbow injury. So, that it's a bit different. Like, Tom Brady's still playing at a high level. Like, he just won a Super Bowl. He's leading the league in passing right now.
He ain't win the Super Bowl.
Huh?
I'm talking about that. That was his win. That was like, all right, whatever.
Oh, I mean, he just got handed the Super Bowl by a sorry-ass defense.
I'm in my feelings. No.
Oh, man. All right. Well, enough tap dancing on your feelings. Let's tap dance on Alvin Glimp's feeling right quick.
Yes, sir.
So, speaking of teams that are underachieving based on what we thought they would be coming into this year, your Dallas Cowboys pretty much got pushed around and had their way with, taken behind the woodshed, whatever cliche you want to attach to it, by the surprising young Los Angeles Rams. I was about to say St. Louis. What are your thoughts on? For one, I read an article today that said, and it was in a Pittsburgh newspaper, believe it or not, but I don't know why. But said the young Cowboys, Prescott and Elliott, are suffering a sophomore slump. Do you think that's the headline it should be, or is it on someone else?
I think it's on the offense. I wouldn't blame it on. I mean, they are the cogs, so to speak, the engine on our offense. So, if you want to lay the blame on them, I could see that. But to me, it's the offense as a whole. What makes our team special is when we're able to hold the ball and get first downs, and we just not doing that. We not sustaining drives, and that's putting our defense on the field. And they tend to be a defense that bends but don't break unless they're on the field for too long, and eventually they will break. They're just not a great defense. And I think the defense played decent, giving up, I think, like 7 field goals, which to me shows you that it could have been a lot worse. They were stopping them from scoring touchdowns. What usually happens is our offense is the one that stays on the field, and if we can hold them to field goals, we score touchdowns, we usually win. But I watching the games, there's been some overthrows by Dak, some bad reads by Dak. But he's still the second year quarterback, and so that's to be expected, as far as I'm concerned. The running game, I think, is less Zeke, more our offensive line, which hasn't been producing a lot of. Not even about producing holes. There's been a lot of times where the defensive line is imposing their will against our offensive line. And last year, you didn't see that unless we was playing the Giants. So just a different season. Every season is different, and this is the way we performing. It's hard for anyone to claim this is the best offensive line in the league. And we're just trying to make do with it. But I think everything being everything, ideally, of course, I'm a Cowboy fan, so I would have predicted 4-0. But realistically, I think 3-1 is probably what I would have been happy about. And 2-2 is just one game off. So I'm not, yes, as a typical Cowboy fan, any loss makes my Monday a bad Monday. But it's Tuesday, so I'm a lot more settled and grounded, and I'm feeling pretty good about where we are as a franchise and this season. Because I like what I see my defense. We're getting some players back, health-wise. Sean Lee will be back. Hitchens is coming back. David Irvin is coming off suspension. So our defense is only going to get better. Our secondary's been injured, but it's only given some opportunities for our rookies to show, to show that they're the real deal. So I'm pleased.
What's the word on the court thing? Like thing when that's supposed to get there? Wasn't that supposed to be like in the next, like maybe Monday pass or something, right?
I see. I still think that's up in the air. I haven't heard anything come down.
Yeah, so hearing
still
yesterday,
to be determined.
Still no determination. So right now it just seems arbitrary to me.
What you mean?
Like it just seems like whenever they say, "Oh, we're gonna hear something Monday," and then Monday comes by like yesterday, nothing happened. So right now it just kind of seems there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just like when it happens, it happens. But I don't know. I also heard someone say that Zeke looks a little chunky this year and not as explosive. Does that ring true to you? Like any validity to that?
I don't know about chunky, but I definitely don't see the same burst. I would say I had similar thoughts at times watching games. Okay. So yeah, I would agree with that.
All right. Yeah, a lot of times I can't tell behind the beard and the hair. Like sometimes I'm serious when I say this. Like sometimes Zeke looks a lot bigger than he is. It's because the way he got a big head and big hair and a big beard. So, but I don't watch a lot of Cowboys games. But
yeah, I think
the highlights don't look quite the same as they did last year.
But I think a lot of that is really perception due to the fact that last year he was getting holes, and I think Zeke is more of he gains speed at the top end of the run as opposed to the initial burst. Yeah. And I think because he's not getting those long runs, we're not seeing that speed. Gotcha. I can just see him like in a relay race or something like that, where he's running, and then that last 10, 20 meters, it's like, so I just don't see, right. I just don't see it, but I think it's because he hasn't had a lot of big plays.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
And Cole Beasley's been missing in our offense.
He fumbled Sunday, didn't he fumble a punt?
No, that was that's the other white guy on the team.
Ryan Switzer.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was number 10.
Beasley 2.0.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. He fumbled the punt, but Beasley is just. I mean, I don't know the stats, but I would imagine he might have 10 receptions, if that. He hasn't. He was a major part of our offense last year, and so far this season he hasn't. And I don't know if it's because we're not finishing drives and he's not getting opportunity, but it's been a lot of third downs where I was expecting them to go to him and they didn't. So on to the next one. But the Rams is a good team.
Yeah.
It's I thought we was gonna win that game, but they're a young team on the rise, just like us.
This is crazy how Jeff Fisher probably should never be allowed near football again.
Well, Jeff Fisher's the most overrated head coach in the history of the NFL to me. I don't know how he still had a job. Don't get it.
He hurt that dude pretty because the way he looks, he looked like a bust last year. Like they just totally and he's looking not like a bust this year. Like he's looking really good. Jared Goff,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Anti-girly,
anti-girly, yeah.
But and you got to give credit. I mean, Sean McVay's a genius. When I say that, I don't mean like when we hear like some dude rapping on the corner, like dude's a genius. Like, nah, Sean McVay's a genius. Like,
Some offense.
Yeah, they're
offensively.
Offensively, yeah, he don't touch the defense. But
so I don't know. So I know I say Andy Reid. I say Hugh Jackson. You say he's better in the league. What do you say?
I'm just saying. I'm not comparing. I mean, I guess like at 31 years old.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
It's kind of early.
I see.
Like, so just the innovation, things that we see Andy Reid doing at what, 60?
I see. Yeah, I totally get it. He's already there, kind of at 31.
Yeah,
I see.
Exactly. But yeah. So I don't know. Really quickly, Al. You got the Green Bay Packers coming to Dallas to Jerry's World this week. What are you expecting? Anything different from the Cowboys? Anything personnel-wise we should look out for? We already know the major headlines. Aaron Rodgers is coming to town. Anything that we should look out for from the Cowboys that we haven't seen yet?
I think the biggest difference is going to be some additional players that'll be on our active roster this year. I mean, this game, like I said, Irving, hopefully Lee and Hitchens, and those are, Hitchens and Lee are two of our three starting linebackers. So to add them back to the rotation, I think will help with the depth, and so our team doesn't wear down as much. Hopefully, we'll continue to put pressure on our quarterback. We didn't have as much this past game. That's why I'm hoping Irvin helps having him in the rotation. But it's going to be a tough one. Rodgers is one of the best, if not the best quarterbacks in the league. We've lost to him the last couple of times we've gone up against him. So it's going to be a hard game, and I'm looking forward to watching it, but it's going to be a hard game.
Their offensive line is bad. So his offensive line is bad. So y'all got some opportunity.
Yeah, but he's good on the run. So he makes things, happen. He extends plays. Our secondary has got better, but they're still not great. So to have these young cornerbacks and a couple of young safeties go up against Aaron Rodgers will only make them better players. Yeah. But it's I think the Cowboys, because of our youth on both sides of the ball, really. Hopefully you'll see a better a better team come the end of the season. That's what I'm hoping, that we continue to improve and we'll be a better team. We just got to stack up enough wins to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, Keon, you mentioned that whack BS fumble that you keep talking about. All I know is y'all lost to the Bills, dude. What happened?
Bills 3-1, man.
I know I'm messing with you. The Bills.
I know.
Yeah.
So let me talk about the fumble real quick. One thing, it's bittersweet. I'm angry, but at the same time, I like what the NFL's doing. I've seen this all around the league. It seems like they're leaning towards not overturning refs' call, like they're letting players play. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I that was okay. I get angry. But I like that part of it. I just don't like that call because it really cost the Falcons the game pretty much. You take that 7 points away, it's a totally different game. And I don't think it was the right call, but they are consistently letting players play this year. And I think that's a good thing.
I think outside of like the actual end result of the game, the biggest storylines are, Julio Jones, injured his hip flexor. Mohamed Sanu, your number 2 receiver, is out 2 to 3 weeks with a hamstring injury. How much does this affect the offense? Of course, we know I've had a hip flexor injury. Those things don't heal, overnight. So I think you got a bye week this week.
That's right.
All right. So 2 weeks to get ready. We do know it's Julio Jones, who's as tightly wound as any receiver in the league. So he's always got a bunch of soft tissue injuries. Mohamed Sanu's out for a week after the bye, or 2 weeks after the bye. If Julio is hobbled, what are your reservations moving forward with your top 2 receivers injured?
I think it's okay. Bye week, really, because it's like the Dolphins suck, man. Jay Cutler is looking like I don't even know what that is. They brought out there, So I think it's okay. It is the NFL. Anybody can win any week, but I think I feel like it's okay. Julio don't have to come back like gangbusters against Miami. And I think the Falcons have enough talent. They should have won that game Sunday, even in spite of that. But I'm not mad because I had a play call in my head, and that's the exact play they ran. I wish it was a little different, but it didn't work. Like the last play of the game, the Falcons' last offensive possession, I pretty much had that in my head, and they did the same thing, and it didn't work. So I can't be mad. They just got beat. But that being said, they got enough talent on offense that this is a great position to be in. Let's say we know the top 2 receivers are out, so we're gonna prepare like that. We got Trent, Tevin Coleman, and Devontae Freeman, who played. They played their asses off Sunday. They put up like really great numbers. And so what I'm trying to say is, we have several weeks to prepare without Julio and Sanu. I think they'll be okay. They'll be okay. The receivers was Gabriel. They weren't ready. They were dropping passes
Hardy,
they weren't ready. But I think in 2 weeks they'll be ready.
Okay.
Hardy, goddamn, boy.
Caught a touchdown, didn't he?
Yes, after dropping the ball, damn near fumbled. You know what I mean? But I think having several weeks to prepare, and he had several drops on Sunday, but I think it was just being thrown in at the last minute. Maybe he wasn't ready.
Okay.
I think Julio gonna miss about 2-3 weeks, man.
I think it's okay though.
I hate to say that because I remember pulling my hip flexor. Jay, I think I was out like 3 weeks.
No, that is horrible. I hated that.
It's horrible, man. Yeah, it's not
the most painful. It's just annoying. It's because you got every time you move, you feel it.
You feel it, and
here's the cool thing about Julio, and I watch defenses do this. All he has to do is catch like 1 or 2 passes, and just go stand out there. The whole defense shift when Julio's on the field. You know what I'm saying? If he can just catch a pass to show them like he can catch, he can run a little bit. He don't got to do much. He's got to be on the field. He don't even got to be on the field really, because we win games without him. But having him over there, you got to respect him.
So
you know what I mean?
So you really saying that, like, are you saying that like for the next 2-3 weeks, or are you saying like no big deal in general? Like the Falcons can win a Super Bowl without Julio Jones.
Super Bowl? No, I ain't say that.
Okay, you mean like for a couple weeks they can manage?
Yeah, and until he get right. No, hell no.
I thought you were saying like, Julio Schmulio. We don't need
no,
that.
No.
Okay.
I'm saying for the next few weeks he can be decoy. You know, if you say 2 weeks, okay.
Hey Jay jump way out there.
Yeah,
because he was talking like he was talking cash cold, like, man, we
like he chopped liver.
He just run out, like we don't want without him before. Like
he stepped back though. He stepped back real quick.
Yeah, like
I
was like, whoa.
Julio ain't. I think he probably had 1 year where he's been healthy, real healthy the whole year. He's always been hurt. You know what I mean? So you said it already. Will you say it's soft tissue, wound up all the little shots he was throwing? You know,
No, that's not a shot. Like I'm saying, Julio, he's tightly wound. He's muscle bound, like tightly wound. Like he's got a lot of muscles to pull. So
okay,
that's why he pulls a lot of them. That wasn't a shot at all. That's just his body makeup. You see a lot of guys who are tightly wound. You know, i.e. Ryan Shazier pulls a lot of muscles, has a lot of soft tissue injuries because he's got a lot of muscles to pull. So, not a shot.
I just I think we were texting back and forth, and I was just saying I think that I didn't want to say I don't think Julio's career ain't gonna be. He's hurt too much. He's always getting hurt, and one of these little dink injuries is gonna be like it's gonna change him. You know what I mean? Real soon. I look for it real soon. I don't look for him to play long in the NFL. You know,
and it's the accumulation of things. And that's it's funny you say that. Julio's kind of one of those guys that I mentioned, like not on the like, especially for a guy who's they always say like high end athletes like Julio Jones, like they say like Sammy Watkins, they like sports cars, and there's no need to even pull them out of the garage if they ain't 100%. You know what I'm saying? Because like, and after a while, like they keep getting, you keep having like, an exhaust replaced on a Ferrari. After a while you get, you have to get a new head gasket. Like after a while you're like, there's no need in having this Ferrari because it just don't run the same. I keep replacing parts on it. So same thing. You're right. After a while, there's gonna be a time where you look at Julio and it's like, man, he is an old 30-year-old.
Yeah. I love the dude, but it's gonna happen real soon. I suspect.
Yeah. So now, Pooh, on your Chicago Bears, man, you got the Minnesota Vikings. I think you got Monday Night Football this week. The Vikings and Sam Bradford coming to Chicago. The debut of Linus Trubisky. I don't know if it's real.
Trubisky, right?
It sounds good though.
It does.
The third. What are you looking for from Mitchell in his first game in Chicago?
Man, I'm hoping that the offensive coordinator give me a lot of Howard and more Cohen. Let's get the kid that came over from the Titans, Kendall Wright, get him in some routes. I mean, I really expect Mitchell to be, efficient, to look a lot like he did in the preseason. Of course, he's going to get a lot of different look from the defense, but he's a very mobile guy. He can get out on the edges and roll outs and sprint outs and things of that nature, and he can put the ball where it needs to be. He's going to be prepared. It's just about him, reading the defenses. Is he going to be able to handle what the defenses throws at him? But I expect him to play well as a rookie in his first start. And I mean, I'm going to go out and say I'm looking for us to get the victory.
Okay. Well, it's a hell of a defense to go up against your first game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one.
But we will learn a lot early about Mitchell Trubisky if he can be successful against that Minnesota defense. I don't know. So what do you? I mean, I know we're a long way away, but I know this is when I know, like, when my Steelers are like, I'm just not looking forward to. There's no Super Bowl to look forward to, no playoffs likely. You've mentioned that you're kind of at that point where you expect, y'all are what you thought you'd be at this point. What are the biggest holes in Chicago, and what do you think you should be looking forward to as far as prepping for the draft next year?
Wow, that's sad. We're at the first of it's October 3rd, and you put me in the draft.
No, I'm just not names or people.
What a
I'm
shot!
Just saying,
Yeah,
I'm just saying like because that's what
It's realistic. I get it.
I mean, the Steelers are 3-1. I'm already looking at the draft board, so I stay in draft board. So
it hurt. It hurt. It really hurts. But
I'm sorry, man. I can't talk about it.
I mean, hey, with friends like you, who needs enemies, man? What? Nah, but I mean, I get it. We just need explosive athletes. We need a game changer at the wide receiver position. Yeah. Maybe an explosive, safety or corner, or an explosive linebacker. Someone that can get in the team on the field and be a difference maker. We need difference makers. I mean, right now on the D line we have Floyd, but he needs a little more time in the weight room, man. I think he gained 12 pounds, and he's playing to run better. However, there's times where the offensive line just dominates him, because he's just not that strong if he doesn't get good leverage.
Yeah.
So McPhee, he plays well, but he's old, man. His knees are done. I mean, he shows every quarter and a half, out there. So whatever explosive players we can get out of the draft, that's what we have to have. We trade down and accumulate a few picks. That'll be great. That's why I was just up in a knot, man, at odds when we traded picks away and this, that, and the third, because we could have amassed Deshaun with Buda Baker in the second round, and because we traded Buda Baker away, and we could have had Cohen. I mean, it just would have made a difference, with the explosive players we could have, garnered throughout the draft. But I guess that's no need to cry over spilled milk. So we just need explosive players, man. We need to get more athletic. We need guys that could change the game for us at the blink of an eye. And right now, the only guy we have, like I said, on defense, I probably would have to say it's Floyd. On offense, it's definitely Tariq Cohen is the most explosive player on our team, period, point blank. And we have to find ways to give him the ball. And shit, if we can put him at corner, we put him at corner. I don't know, man. We just need guys to make plays.
Pooh, do you have the Sunday ticket?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I was wondering how you watch them games.
And if I didn't, they play on the stick. You watch them on the stick.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I mean, when I didn't have the Sunday ticket, I had the Sunday ticket. I just
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Well, just really a quick name to throw out there for you. I know the Bears won't be looking at him, but you mentioned Tariq Cohen. Martez Carter, running back from Grambling State, 5'9", 205. A lot of people are saying he is a bigger Tariq Cohen. So looking out for that name next year. Guys,
okay.
It's fun to watch. All right. So, really quickly, I'm going to ask you questions. Give me a name. No explanation needed. I just want to know where you guys are sitting right now because it's all over the place for me. Season ends right now after 4 weeks. Who's your MVP through the first quarter of the season, Keon?
First quarter of the season, MVP. That's rough. Probably, I'm forgetting somebody. I want to say Alex Smith.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going with the running back. Hunt.
Kareem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pooh?
I'm going with Todd Gurley.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
Place. Y'all asking me? Don't ask me these questions. I ask the questions, and I'm just kidding. Yeah, right now I'd have to say Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, yeah.
Given, for when it's usually a quarterback-driven award, I'd have to go Alex Smith. I go with Gurley, I go Offensive Player of the Year, but MVP, I go Smith.
It's crazy because it's like, I was texting y'all, if there was any other team, if it was the Steelers even, I'd be like, man, this is a Super Bowl team,
Yeah.
But because it's the Chiefs, man, 13-3, out in the first round, maybe second round.
So dude, if this guy actually legitimately win MVP? How can they go Mahomes next year? Is that possible?
Absolutely.
Damn right.
Win the Super Bowl. I'm with Keon.
Yep.
Like it's the Chiefs. They are not going to win the Super Bowl. And
I mean, hypothetically, we're talking, hyperbole. They win it all. How in the world could they turn the keys over to Mahomes?
If they win a Super Bowl, I think they would just keep Holmes until his 5th year. That's what or something like that.
But they have to re-up Alex though, and they have to pay Alex like big bucks.
Yeah,
and they would.
I think you have to. Winning a Super Bowl.
I think you kind of got to. At least, maybe even if it's on like
a short contract,
shorter contract. Yeah,
another 3-year, because he sounded like a 3-year joint last time, or 2-year. Okay,
but it's the Chiefs. They ain't winning it. Which is
it's
gonna be a moot conversation after this point. Like,
Reed gonna blow a timeout, or he gonna do something crazy. He shouldn't be a head coach. He should be offensive coordinator somewhere. I mean, anyway. That's
I like Andy.
I do
like
too.
Andy. I would love Andy to be the Bears head coach, man. Because never mind. I'm not even getting. All right,
oh man, yeah. Andy. Yeah, I remember I asked. I don't know if y'all remember Leonard Weaver. He actually played with Junior at Carson Newman, but Leonard Weaver played for the Eagles and the Seahawks, which means he played for both Andy Reid and Mike Holmgren.
Okay.
And he was a guest on the podcast I used to host, and I asked him one of the questions. I was like, "Who's in better shape, Andy Reid or Mike Holmgren?" And his direct response was, "Both of them are fat bastards."
Wow.
Yeah.
Andy lost some weight. You see,
Andy lost some weight. Yeah, but that would be fun to see Andy Reid and Mike Holmgren run a 40. That would be fun. But
I always wondered, have you seen that picture of Andy Reid's, like, I don't know, it was in the 70s or something, kicking the ball, like he had the helmet on.
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
It was a bunch of little kids, and he was doing like a kick. If you haven't seen it, then I'll send it to you and we ask. But I always wondered about that. But don't worry about it if you haven't seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So moving forward, college football really quickly. I know we just mentioned the MVP in the NFL I mentioned it being a quarterback-driven award. Talk about quarterbacks so much. For one, I want to say that everyone coming into this year thought that next year's draft was going to be one of the best quarterback drafts in the history of the draft. And I was, to use the Keon term, pump your brakes. Been saying that all year, and it's been a bit of a letdown for top quarterbacks in college football. You look at Sam Darnold from USC, Josh Rosen from UCLA, Lamar Jackson's been good. So for all those quarterbacks, you look at those three. You got Mason Rudolph, who's playing really well. The guy from Oklahoma,
Baker Mayfield.
Josh Allen from Wyoming's been a huge disappointment. So definitely don't think it's going to be like on the class of 1983 with Marino and Kelly and those guys, or even 2004 with Manning and Roethlisberger. But all those guys and all those big names, Al, who's the best quarterback in college football?
Yes, there's some big names and some disappointments. But based on what I've seen so far, I'm going with Baker Mayfield, the quarterback of Oklahoma. Veteran presence. I think he shows good leadership ability, good touch, good arm, can move. I'm going with Baker.
Okay. Keon.
Man, I'm a Michael Vick. I worship at the altar of Michael Vick. Man, Lamar Jackson. I love everything about him, the way he moved, everything. Put him. I think, I don't want to insult Pooh, but I think he's better than Deshaun Watson to me. You know what I mean? If you put him on a team with some talent around him, I think he would show out.
Dude, you wow.
So for some reason, I'm imagining Pooh's face looking like Deshaun Watson's face when he had to look at Lamar win the Heisman last year.
Right, and the year before that, the Henry, Derrick Henry. Yeah.
So you think I'm trying to get in your brain. Obviously, you think he's better, but why do you think he's better?
I mean, I think Lamar's better. He's a better athlete. He's a better runner. But other than that, then I don't think he's better than Deshaun. Leader, passer, anticipation. I don't think he's better than Deshaun and either of those. But a better runner. He's a better skilled runner. He's a better athlete. But other than that, I'm going with Deshaun.
I didn't mean to hijack the question, Jay. But
no, you good. That was a good question.
All right.
Pooh, outside of Kelly Bryant, who's the best quarterback? Because I know you're going to go there.
No, I wasn't going to go there.
Who's the best? Who's the best?
I wasn't going to go there. I really like Rudolph. I really like. I think Baker Field's probably been the better. I agree with that. But to me, I think a better upside. I know that's not even a question. So the answer to the question is Baker. But to me, upside, man, I like Chosen Rosen, man. I just, it just seems like he plays his best football when he's behind. If he could play the entire game that way. I think he's special though. I think he's gonna be special, man. I think he's gonna be special, and I don't think he has a lot of talent around him, but like the throws he makes, the decision he makes, I think he's gonna be special.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Josh Rosen. I don't know. I mean, and you kind of touched on something because I mean we're specifically asking who's the best quarterback in college. And if we're going who's the best college quarterback, I think I might hit the road with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, me too.
But if we're looking at upside and skill set and like pro potential, it opens up a whole can of worms. Because I mean, because you look at Rosen, like you said, with his accuracy and his gamesmanship and his clutch ability. Look at Darnold with his athleticism and his ability to throw and to run, his mentality. Jackson, his athleticism speaks for itself. He's improved as a passer. Mayfield, can his skills translate to the next level? Then you look at Mason Rudolph, the bigger senior, big guy who can move around a little bit, kind of a Joe Flacco type.
Yeah, I like Rudolph.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it'll be interesting come draft time, but I just kind of want to get y'all's gauge on who y'all like right now in college.
What's going to be funny if like Baltimore, Giants, Cincinnati fall when they fall, what y'all going to do? Like if they end up like the top 3 picks, y'all going to draft quarterbacks or what?
Like, you look at you're right because you look at like the Giants, New Orleans, teams that like traditionally they usually wait till like third, fourth round to get a quarterback of the future because they never pick high enough to get one of those top quarterbacks. Which is like the Giants just did this year. Is they went and got Davis Webb from Cal last year in the 4th round, and claimed he was their future quarterback. Grooming him to take over for Eli. But shit, that was before they weren't planning on going 0-4 to start.
0-4, yeah.
So if you drafted number 2 and you got one of these guys sitting there, what do? I think you almost have to go for your guy.
You gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go.
Eli had that dumb look on his face. He did. They put the camera on Eli.
Yeah, exactly.
That crazy look at me throwing interception.
Yeah.
Or even like Cincinnati, like Dalton.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's crazy. But anyway.
Hey, but I heard like Booger McFarland.
Yeah.
He said something like it was utterly ridiculous. He was like, yeah, he was talking about Lamar Jackson. Okay. Yeah, I think he's the front runner for the Heisman. And then in the same breath he says, but I also think he's gonna have to change his position of wide receiver when he gets into the pros. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's why Booger works for ESPN and not the front office.
I said, man, what in the world is Booger talking about, man? This kid is light years better than he was last year. He's gonna get another year to grow. Mm-hmm. And I mean, change his position to wide receiver. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid. And as people make decisions like that are in like sitting in NFL offices, they You'd be surprised, bro. I'm surprised.
So Tannehill changed his position from wide receiver to quarterback and got drafted in the first round. But you telling me Lamar Jackson has to change his position from quarterback to wide receiver to get drafted? Get out of here, man.
And look at it this way. Like, you mean to tell me there is not one GM in the league that's going to look at Lamar Jackson's skill set and say, man, I don't even want to test those tools at receiver and have an opportunity for this guy to, like, change the game. I want to put him at receiver and just have him be another receiver. I mean,
another receiver.
You know, the first thing they'll say is to Terrell Pryor.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they say.
It's work for Terrell Pryor. Yeah, even Terrell Pryor, as limited as he was as a quarterback, they
got a shot at it.
They toyed with those exactly. Like every GM was like, "Nah, we're gonna try this first. If it don't work out, you know, like it took them 4 years to say, you know what, we've exhausted that opportunity. Yeah, but they damn sure tried to get everything they could out of making him a quarterback.
As bad as quarterbacks are needed right now, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Wheaton got signed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
With Kaepernick on the street. Get out of here, man.
Brandon freaking Wheaton.
Brandon Wheaton, man. You remember when he came in for the Cowboys?
Oh my God.
That boy was complete trash.
Oh God.
And they was running read option this past Sunday. So
yeah.
I mean,
and Keon, what's your guy's name? Your Twitter guy?
Oh, you can't see him, Fahey?
Yes. So you see, he said he tweeted today. I meant to screenshot it and send it to you. If you really think Colin Kaepernick is a better fit than Brandon Wheaton, you don't know football.
Yeah,
that's your guy.
Who said that?
Keon's Twitter guy.
What? Say again now.
If you really think Colin Kaepernick is a better fit than Brandon Wheaton on the Tennessee Titans, you don't know football.
I think it was in sarcasm because he's been a supporter of Kaepernick for the whole every tweet about Kaepernick is like he's a supporter of him. So I think you read that wrong. I actually saw that tweet. I think you read that. You go back and read it again. I think it was sarcasm.
He didn't use a sarcasm font. I just know. I just know what the word says.
Because there are other tweets in the same. No, seriously, about the Titans. He says that the read option doesn't work anymore, and then it showed them the Colin Kaepernick is a read option quarterback, and the read option doesn't work anymore, and then he showed the Titans running this Sunday. So I this seemed to here nor there, but I think that was sarcasm. It wasn't. You have to read more than that one tweet. Kind of like what you like to do. You look at one thing and then ignore everything else. Remember we had the conversation about Shady McCoy last week was funny, but anyway.
Like
you brought it up.
I'm just saying he didn't like. I didn't sense sarcasm in it. I just saw the words in it, but I was just saying I saw what I saw, and maybe your guy's not so bright, but
yeah, not my guy, but whatever. I'm saying
I don't know. Your guy's a Brandon Wheaton fan. Speaking of things that are horrible that some of us like, sports movies. We mentioned last week we were talking about my shout out was to Blue Chips and Neon Bordeaux, and Butch, was it Butch Reynolds from Butch McRae from Blue Chips, Shaq and Penny. Blue Chips is one of my guilty pleasure sports movies. Whenever it's on, I cannot turn away from it, even though it's horrible and it's totally unrealistic. Al, what's a guilty pleasure sports movie of yours that's just horrible, but you cannot resist watching it when it comes on?
Wow. So it's not a horrible movie, but I feel guilty because the movie with Tom Hanks about women playing baseball.
Oh yeah.
A league of their own.
A league of their own.
There's no crying in baseball.
That one.
Oh.
So it's not like a bad movie because it's movie for movie, it's a decent movie. But just the fact that, you know, I would sit up there and watch that movie, and I would every time it would come on, because I just enjoy that movie and like them classic lines. That would be it. That would be it. A League of Its Own.
Like watching Rosie O'Donnell in tights. We get it.
And and a young Madonna. I'm confessing. I'm confessing.
Gina Davis. Wow. I forgot about that movie. All right.
Uh-huh.
League of Their Own. Not a bad one. Pooh? Guilty pleasure sports movie.
Man, I really been thinking and contemplating, and when you posed that question earlier, I couldn't think of one, man. I just really couldn't think of one that's really not that good that I just have to see. And the only movie that I could think of, and it's a very, very good movie, is Remember the Titans. Like, no matter what part, it could be like the last game where they're playing and they're calling all the bad calls to get the coach spot. Like, no matter what part of the movie, it can be when the kid is pointing and about to get hit by the truck or whatever. I always have to watch it, no matter where it is.
You're killing me, Petey. You're killing me.
Yeah. Hey, but no matter what, if it's 3:00 in the morning and I'm just dead tired and channel surfing, trying to put myself to sleep, and I stumble upon it, I have to finish it.
Yeah.
It's just I'm just the Remember the Titan fool. I'm a fool for it.
Yeah, love that movie. All right. Keon, guilty pleasure sports movie.
Mine like Hoosiers. I like it. Hoosiers. Yeah. That's in Indiana, right? Gene Hackman. Yeah, I like that one. I could watch it anytime it comes on. Simple as that. I can't. Yeah, I like it.
Have any of y'all ever seen The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh?
Dr. J?
Dr. J.
I've seen.
I can't get through it.
A long time ago. Yeah, I couldn't get through it.
That's a bad
thing.
I understand. It's a bad sports movie though. It just kind of crossed my mind, but yeah, The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Well, fuck, you would go. How bad is like what's the one where Michael Jordan was in with the playing
Space
with the
Jam?
Space Jam.
Yeah, I never saw that either. Like I can never get through it. I put it that way.
I like y'all bugging, man. I like Space Jam.
I think like Space Jam was meant for kids. Like it was meant for a younger crowd. So
we were kids when it came out, right?
Nah, it was like high school.
Oh, I thought it was about 12 or something.
Nah, it was in high school.
Okay. I don't know. Like mine, I got two. Well, outside of Blue Chips, two. Any Given Sunday.
I like that.
Horribly acted. Plot lines are horrible, totally unrealistic. But I cannot turn away from it when it comes on.
Yeah. Like that.
And The Program, I gotta watch The Program every time it comes on.
Program. Was that Ice Cube?
But I like The Program.
Omar Epps,
football player.
Yeah, Johnny Kane.
I like The Program. Yeah,
Can't remember.
Yeah, and partly because somewhere in the crowds in that movie, I'm in there. I don't even know if you were in high school yet, Pooh, when they took the high school to go be extras in the crowd during the games for The Program.
I remember. I remember when that happened, though. I heard all the and we in the movie and all of that.
Yeah, exactly. So like the entire way there, I just remember them saying, "Yeah, it's a Halle Berry movie." Like every dude in that school thought they was gonna meet Halle Berry, and like we was actually in the movie. It was horrible, but yeah, terrible movie, pretty bad, pretty terribly acted as well. But I cannot resist watching it. So I don't know. Well, y'all gotta find worse movies, Al, than A League of Their Own. We gotta find you some bad sports movies to watch. If that's the worst you can do with A League of Your Own.
I said, "Cause if it's bad, I can't look at it. So I can't."
Yeah. That's why it's like a guilty pleasure. Like there are like no movies that are like that are just like horribly like not really great movies, but they make you laugh for some reason, or like any guilty pleasure? Like you don't have any movies like that outside of sports movies. You don't have any movies that are like guilty pleasures for you.
I got a TV show that's like that.
Yeah,
right
okay, TV show I can do that.
Okay.
Marlon. Marlon Wayans TV
Yeah.
show is my little personal guilty pleasure. It's like
Okay.
it ain't a good show, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
TV show I can do that all day. But
funny.
movies, I can, because 30 minutes, I can lose 30 minutes. But like, was it 2 hours? Hell no, I can't even. So like Andy Griffith show, I love them shows. Like, yeah,
I think I've ever seen one episode of the Andy Griffith Show.
Man, I know them by heart. I'll stop every
Really?
time it comes on.
Wow.
Man, me too. Yeah, me too.
Food in.
Up until they start making them in color, then I don't watch them in color.
Yeah,
But
same.
black and white, yeah.
The older the better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Y'all, okay.
No, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Nah, I'm messing with you.
Get out of here, man.
All right. Well, on that note, you mentioned Andy Griffith. We're just gonna stop talking.
Yeah.
We will talk about next week. No, I'm just kidding. Think it's crazy stuff like the Andy Griffith Show on the Defy Life Podcast. There's no transition from that to LeVar Ball, so we're just gonna go into it. LeVar Ball has announced that he is pulling his youngest son LaMelo out of high school, out of Chino Hills High School, and will homeschool him for the next 2 years while he trains for college. Keon, I know you like this already.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm like when before the beef, when they asked Baby something that Wayne said, he was like, I ain't heard it, but whatever he said, I'm with it. That's how I feel about LeVar Ball. If LeVar did it, I'm cool with it.
Okay.
You know, basically, I get it, and he's trying to. Basically, it's like this. I read the thing about he got beef with the coach, he got beef with the administration. He was saying that the coach was going around to find out what players were playing on LeVar's team, and he was not letting them play on the high school team. Like he was like interviewing pretty much, and he didn't want anything to do with LeVar Ball. So LeVar basically saying, I'm pulling my son out, because at the end of the day, if you think about it, LaMelo's putting a lot of money in. A lot of people going, whether you like him or not, he's going to fill them stands up. So it's like I've heard like Bomani Jones saying, instead of what LeVar Ball is doing, he's saying, I'm going to exploit my kids, and I'm not going to let y'all exploit them. Yeah. And y'all is getting really pissed off at that. So by pulling him out of the school, he's going to start his own team, AAU, and they're going to go around playing people, and he's going to get paid off it. Yeah. And the school is going to suffer from it. So anyway, I don't see anything wrong with what he's doing, and I salute him.
Okay. Al, what do you think?
I totally agree with Key, and I think what it's really doing is just kind of exposing the greed and exploitive aspect of athletics, even at the high school level. Because I think that's really what their response is about. Like, damn, we wanted to make money off that brother. I more power to him.
Okay. Pooh, I'll save you for last because I figured you may have a different perspective on this. What do you think about LeVar pulling his kid out of school?
I guess with the sport aspect, what they're saying with the exploitation, and I agree with that. However, I'm looking at young LaMelo, and I think he's doing a total disservice to his son. Whether it's socially, or I just think he's taking a lot. He's taking a lot away from his son from being a kid. He's taking a lot. He's taking a lot away from him by just saying I'm pulling him from school. So he's not going to be in that atmosphere to with his peers and just the simple things, you know, hallways, girls. I mean, just whatever. I think, and then if he goes to college, I think he's gonna be missing a lot socially. You know, is being around and being able to cope for himself and being able to handle certain situations himself. I think he's taking a lot away from him.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I sent a text earlier. I said, like, high school is mostly bullshit. Like, I really believe that for like what is he learning? Like geometry and like, you know, stuff he'll never use. You know, he can totally focus on basketball. He's hanging out. He do got a Lamborghini. Socially, he'll be fine. Like, you know, we disagree.
That doesn't mean he won't be awkward because he's driving a Lamborghini. And I'm not talking about what he's learning in the classroom. I'm talking about beyond the classroom. Because it's people that you see and hang out with. You'd be like, that dude's weird. That dude's awkward. And he's really never socially been around people. And that's why he's weird and that's why he's awkward. Not saying that because if you look at it 2-year span, that's going to be 6,000 hours of time where he could have been socially around people. And believe it or not, he's going to be lacking. Believe it or not.
I don't know. You're kind of making a jump there because we don't know. It's a lot we don't know. Like,
no, I'm just saying if you want to accumulate, where the time that, because you're in school 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna get that time back. Where's he gonna get that time back? Practicing basketball around other boys? He's not gonna get that social time back. You're not gonna be able to get it back. He's gonna miss out on that time. Period.
We disagree. I think he's fine. I think he'll be fine. I think it seemed like the reason why he did it had to do with the coach and administration of the school. It seems like in a way I could almost see, I think LeVar might be a little bit of a bully almost, like he wanted to have his way with stuff.
I'm laughing because I'm laughing.
So I'm going to take my ball?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm laughing because it took you this long to actually say LeVar might be a kind of a bully.
Might be a little bit, pulling his, throwing his weight around. Just a little though.
Funny.
Just a little. I mean, hey.
Okay. Never thought
if
about
you got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna take my ball and I'm done.
What theory? LeVar Ball's a bully.
I said maybe a little bit.
Oh man, yeah. I just think it's like most things LeVar Ball. It's double edged and it's
double edged.
Yeah, and it's we say this about like Tupac all the time. He's like a walking like contradiction. Yeah, and I think LeVar Ball is that in a lot of senses. And this is definitely a contradiction within itself, both positively and negatively. Like you said, I applaud him for, again, railing against the system. And you're right. If he's gonna, if somebody's gonna exploit his kids in a sense, he's figured out a way to do it and to keep it all in the family. So kudos to him. But I do kind of have to side with Pooh in the sense that there's going to be a lot that Melo's going to be missing out on. And one thing that jumped out that Pooh said was at what point do you let the kid figure stuff out on his own and deal with rocky roads and deal with people you don't like? Because at some point he's going to have to deal with it. Deal with a coach you don't like, deal with teammates you don't like. So at some point he's going to have to deal with it. And if you start pulling him out of every situation that you're not comfortable with or you don't feel he should be comfortable with when he's in the 10th grade, at what point is he going to learn that?
I think there's a spot. I think this happens all the time, and he has such a spotlight on him that his steps are being closely watched. I think this is the new generation of I don't like the team, I'm switching, going to another team. Like this is kind of like what the AAU
I'm not saying it's unique to him, but we're talking about him right now.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's a definitely generational thing. But we're talking about him because he's made himself the story.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not unique to LeVar or unique to his family. But in this specific situation, we're talking about them. So at what point, like, if your plan, I'm sure in the big scheme of things, his plan is for his kid to play double-digit seasons in the NBA. At some point, he's going to play with a bunch of teammates he doesn't like. He's going to play with a few coaches he absolutely hates. You can't just switch teams. Like, at some point, you got to just, learn to adjust. That's kind of one of the reasons that people gave Kobe such a hard time, is because he was so entitled coming in. That it took him a while to adjust to being around teammates he didn't like, and being around a big personality like Shaq. Kobe couldn't deal with that kind of stuff. So, you're looking at a guy who's, Kobe was kind of sheltered too, moving around a lot, not really having a lot of friends, and going from team to team, city to city. So it's kind of the same, but his daddy didn't mandate that in the sense that you don't like these people, we leaving. His daddy was just a ball player, so they moved around a lot. So, and kind of the same thing, but when you look at LaMelo, he's got a dad who's like, oh, you don't like the coach? I don't like the coach? I'm taking you off the team, and we're going to quit school. So while I applaud him for, because that's the message, that's part of the message he's sending.
Now, I was going to use Kobe as an example, and you brought him up. It's funny, again, the camera's on LeVar Ball, whether, like I said, he did it himself or we're doing it. But, how many coaches do you think maybe Kobe Bryant's father got fired from their jobs because he ain't like them? You feel me? You feel me? We don't know. Or whoever, star basketball players didn't like this and didn't like that, so the school just bent over backwards to make it right for him. So he didn't have to pull him out of school. Basically, what happened here with LeVar, the coach before this, this is what happened. And we can read lines, I don't know, whatever. But the coach was there for a year and left. Then they got this new coach, and now he's not wanting anybody else on the team. So it almost seems like maybe LeVar didn't like. I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe he didn't like the other coach. They got rid of him. Maybe they got another coach, and he's actually pushing back against LeVar. So LeVar's pushing back, and I'm adding to it. I don't know this to be true, but what I'm trying to say is, overall, how do we know this? This probably is normal with superstar kids in basketball, especially. It's just the fact that the cameras is on him, so we can pick him apart and say, oh, he's gonna be ruined. And for all we know, hell, Michael Jordan did the same thing or whatever. But
but that's what I'm saying. We don't know.
Yeah,
what we do know is what we know.
Right.
What we know is LeVar Ball has gotten one coach fired and another one he's walking away from because he's not getting his way. That's what we know. You can speculate about Michael Jordan or Sean Kemp or whoever daddy you want to. What we do know is LeVar might be a bully, is what you're saying.
Now the question I said. Do you know that he got? I ain't debating. I don't know. Do you know that he got the guy fired?
He basically threw his weight around so much that the guy quit.
Okay.
So he was pretty much just making it like the guy in the interview when the coach left. He was like, "No, don't feel bad for me. It's a relief that I'm."
Okay.
Wow.
So, and it was a young black guy.
So you racist now?
No, what I'm saying is that
I'm totally being a dick with you.
No, I'm just saying that just for stating who he was. He's a young black guy.
Yeah, I understand.
But I don't know. But it is there's a lot I'm not totally on. LeVar Ball is not a person I can totally be on his bandwagon, because until I get the benefit of results, it's just hard for me to buy into it. It's kind of like, I saw this commercial the other night where there's this production company selling $1 stocks for their IPO, and it sounded kind of good. I was like, just something ain't right about this, and did some more research, and everybody was like, nobody really knows. I know a lot of their business structures, people, their former employees hate them. But if this thing turns out well, it can make a lot of people rich. Same thing with LeVar. It's just like, I don't have the benefits of the results yet. So this kind of thing has never been done before. So it's really risky. And he's taking bigger risk with each kid. I don't get it in a sense, but I hope it works out for him, because I'm really, really hoping he's successful, because a lot of these systems that are in place need to be broken.
It's funny, we talk about all this and we ain't even talk about the scandal in college, like the whole. I'm still confused about it, because I don't understand what's the legal, like who got defrauded. I'm very confused, but
as far as the details, I didn't, because I didn't really look into it. Like, it didn't shock me, I guess, is why I did. Yeah. So, you're absolutely right. It's funny that we're talking about this, and like the story of guys getting paid thousands of dollars to go to a school just kind of gets swept under the rug. We don't, as far as like talking points, like, because we all knew that kind of stuff was going on at some level.
I don't see what's illegal. I don't know like the law behind, but that's another day. Then gotta anyway. Yeah. I hope this whole thing changes all that, and LeVar can be a catalyst. But I don't think he's trying to be anybody's catalyst. I think he's just trying to get paid.
LeVar's trying to do LeVar.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Keon, you mentioned really quickly before we jump into trivia. You mentioned that you actually are filling the new format of the NBA All-Star game, going away from East-West, and are selecting captains to pick teams. What are your thoughts on that? How are you feeling about it exactly?
Honestly speaking, All-Star game in years, because I'm just totally bored to sleep. Let's say LeBron and Steph again win the captains, they get to pick the teams and just go out there and play. That's going to be real interesting for me, I think, because it's like playing outside, you know what I mean, as opposed to how we was little and I got ups, then you pick the team. That's what this is going to be like. So I think it's going to be real cool. And I'll watch it this year because it's all mixed together. No East and West. It'll be fun, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be fun to see like Steph and Clay on opposite teams.
Yeah.
Pooh, what do you think about that?
I think it's whack.
Oh man! Why you say that?
I mean, it's just like with the how they were doing the Pro Bowl and they had Deion and Jerry drafting. I mean, it was cool for a year or two, but I just like the prestige of the conferences, the East and the West. I just like that, man. I just like your conference versus my conference. I mean, I guess call me old fashioned. That's what I like. I like the AFC, NFC, the East and the West. That's what I like. A pickup game. I mean, shit, go to the Rucker. I don't know. I mean, but I don't like it.
The reason why I don't like that style, because they don't even mean NFC, AFC don't even mean anything anymore. Like baseball has it closest to, right? And they start doing interleague play, where those are two totally different styles of play, and they hardly play each other. You know what I mean? So that anyway, yeah.
No, but the East Coast and the East and the West, they're different styles of play. The East is kind of like shifting to maybe a little upbeat, fast, but for a while it was a totally different style in play. You can just point out the team that was from the West and the team that's on the East Coast.
It would be cool if they didn't play each other. Maybe that would be cooler. Like them to the championship or something. For me. Yeah. But now they play all the time. It just I don't know. I don't think it means anything. AFC, NFC, just letters now.
Well, I know what it means to Alvin. It means.
I'm sorry. We didn't talk all.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying I know what it means to Al. This won't be. There's one more chance that Melo and Kristaps will be able to play together again.
Assuming Carmelo makes the All-Star team,
or Michael Beasley. Sorry to leave you.
He's picking it because
that's what I'm.
If Bron picking,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, but that's what I'm saying though. That's kind of like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure the coach is gonna throw a few guys on there, but I think it's gonna kill some guys, man. I mean, because of course, he may bring Wade out there. Because they're such good. So I don't. That's why I don't like it, man.
Well,
because
I think they'll probably make it where they have to pick the teams off of
that was selected.
Yeah,
right.
Between okay. So you saying it's gonna give them a pool?
Like Kyle Korver's my boy. I'm going to pick Kyle Korver.
Right. So you saying you think they're gonna draft from a pool? They're gonna select from a pool?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense. However, it's still whack.
Letting the fans pick it was whack. I mean, they had what's the man, the guy from China who wasn't even in the league no more, Yao Ming, making an All-Star team. He wasn't even in the league no more. Like the fans, he got the most votes. So
right.
The whole thing is just.
So was it whack when Magic was voted? Was that whack?
No, because
so why was it whack with Yao? Because he still was mad. Dominant though, he just couldn't move up and down the court anymore. But you still couldn't do anything with him.
Because I like Magic, that's why.
Okay, so there it is.
Transparency, folks. Oh man. All right.
I get it.
Wow. All right. Well, y'all ready for some trivia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So. We had a conversation. I threw out a text this week to you guys. Should the Vikings trade to get Adrian Peterson back? Keon, and funny you mentioned Yao Ming because Keon compared him to the old center who can't get up and down the court, but he got great post moves. That was pretty much Yao Ming.
2017. Yeah,
exactly. So, in honor of Adrian Peterson and whoever goes first, you're gonna have a layup because I just mentioned Adrian Peterson. But we are going with the top 20 active runners in the active rushers in NFL.
Top 20.
Top 20 active rushers. Top 20 active rushers in the NFL.
That's rough. That's rough.
Give me a name. If he's on the list, you stay in. If he's not, you're out. Next person has to get it right to win. You cannot lose. You cannot win on someone else's incorrect answer. All right. So top 20.
Got it. The whole name or just the last name?
My last name is cool. You can give me a last name and a time. You can't give me like. You can't give me like
his
Smith.
Nickname, girlfriend's name,
like
barber's
give me some
name.
kind of idea that you know what you're talking about. You can't give me like that dude with the five fingers. So,
okay.
All right. Who won last week, Al?
5 in a row, baby.
That's right. All right. Give me one.
Let me see. Tick, 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 tick. I'm gonna take Adrian Peterson, sir.
How about that? He is on.
How about that?
Number 2 active rusher in the NFL, Adrian Peterson. Pooh?
That's rough.
10 seconds.
Who is on?
Oh, you.
Yep.
It's on you.
Yeah.
Oh, my joint went out. What?
Okay.
I went first.
Al got Adrian Peterson. You're up.
Oh, Frank Gore.
I'm gonna use that trick too.
Number 1 on the list. Keon's on you.
Oh, I got Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson, number 3. Oh,
that's all I got.
Al on you.
Darren McFadden.
Darren McFadden is number 10. Good one. Pooh?
Wow. I'm totally blank. Let me
Mm.
7 seconds remain.
All right. Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch is number 5. Keon.
You said he is or he's not?
He is number 5. Yeah.
Okay.
How about Reggie Bush?
Reggie Bush is not. and he's not active, so he's not on the All right, Al, it's on you.
Matt Forte.
Matt Forte is number 4. Good one. Poop.
Wow, I can't believe you pulled out Matt.
Rapid.
He's on the Jets.
Mm. 7 seconds remaining.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Can't think of anyone.
I want to
give me one, and you are the winner.
Okay, I can't think of this brother's name.
I'm back in.
Dude. So can I describe him?
No.
Hell no.
Jamal Charles.
Charles is number 7.
Wow.
Al pulls it out in the clutch.
It's all over.
Rocking it. And my other guess was gonna be Sproles. Is he on the list?
No, Sproles is not on the list. Not in the top 20.
Who? What happened?
Darren Sproles.
That's who you said?
No,
No,
he said he was going to
Calm
go.
down, calm down.
You are not back in it, bro. Wait till next week. We'll get you back in
Nah, my joint jumped again.
He said that's what he said.
Hey, Jay, I said, that's what we said?
Yeah, I'm back. I saw you pumping your fist. Oh, man. All right. Starting at number 20, Eddie Lacy.
Ooh.
Some of these are kind of surprising how, when you look at top 20 rushers and active in the league, but Eddie Lacy only has 3,490 yards in his career.
Sproles don't have that many yards?
I guess not.
Dang.
But yeah, I guess like, how many yards does Sproles ever really rush for?
Nah, you right.
Like,
They've been in the league forever.
Yeah.
I mean, this right here kind of threw me off because I thought like it was, all time.
Sproles is number 22, 3,366.
I definitely would have said Shady because I was thinking.
Oh, wow. Shady.
I thought we was talking about of all time.
Oh, no, active. Yeah.
This is skewed.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can give you this one, Al.
Too bad.
I'll listen to the rules, man. Number 19, Cameron Newton.
Cam?
Wow.
Number 19, 3656. Number 18, Doug Martin. Number 17, Lamar Miller. Number 16, Le'Veon Bell. Lamar Miller, 17.
Bell.
16, Le'Veon Bell. 15, Mark Ingram. 14, Chris Ivory. 13, Alfred Morris. 12, Ryan Matthews. 11, LeGarrette Blount. 10, Darren McFadden. 9, DeMarco Murray. 8, Jonathan Stewart. 7, Jamal Charles. 6, LaShawn McCoy. And the top 5 through 1, Lynch, Forte, Chris Johnson, Peterson, and Gore.
Who's Ryan Matthews playing for this year?
Ryan Matthews.
He's still with Philly?
No,
the Philly just cut him.
Yeah, they cut him right before the season began.
Yeah. Names that just missed out: 21, C.J. Spiller. Darren Sproles, 22. 23, Stephen Ridley. 24, Jeremy Hill. And 25, Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Wow.
Russell Wilson, followed by Devontae Freeman and Aaron Rodgers. Interesting. Well, at some point, y'all gonna decide to challenge Alvin Glimpf. He came back and I don't know, been in the gym now.
Running that shit, yo. You wanna romp with me?
Okay.
Let's switch it back to music next week.
That's what it is.
You gotta take the throne first.
Yeah. So, that's up to y'all. I don't know. Al ain't letting go.
That's what it is. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out there and take what's mine.
Don't do a LaMelo.
Oh man. Well, on that note, Mr. Champion, what's your final shot for me this week?
First of all, it seems like every week for the last few weeks, whoever get to do the parting shots start off with a.
Yeah.
I just want to give my hearts and our thoughts out to somebody, and this week is Las Vegas, but just a crazy time we live in, and that's just we could do a whole show on that. So, but definitely all our hearts and prayers going out to all those people affected. Just another crazy incident of massive shootings in our country. It seems like every year there's like 4 or 5 of them, but that's that. I just want to shout out watching my Yankees. I know we not big baseball on this podcast, but look like the one and done wild card. Look like the Yankees about to take it and go into the playoffs. So nice to see that. Shout out to the WNBA. They got a Game 5 coming up this week. With in the finals with the 2 best teams, the equivalent of Golden State going against the Cavs, 2 all-star laden teams. So it's going to be a big winner takes all in WNBA finals. Looking forward to that. So that's all I got. Everybody else have a safe week, and blessings to all those who dealing with something in their life.
Absolutely. Keon, what you got for me?
Yeah, same thing. Just the Las Vegas thing to everybody. That was like the craziest thing. I don't understand the evil in some people to even think about stuff like this. So to everybody that's dealing with that, you in my prayers, our prayers, and just keep pushing through it. America's strong. We get through it.
No doubt. Thomas Stevens, what you got for me?
Yeah, I mean, I want to definitely third the Vegas thing, and I want to also give a good I guess a rest in peace to a childhood peer that so as the mind over the weekend. Travis Wright, good friend of us, Jay. And I just want to let everyone know, man, just no matter friends, family, I mean, tell the people that you know and love you that you love them, because you never know that day could be the last day that you will see them again. So, start giving your people the flowers, the lines. I just want to leave you guys with that.
Absolutely. Well, really quick, mine is based completely off of a Facebook post that I saw this week. But shout out to my little cousin, Adea Glimpf, for hosting her parents for at her school last week, and then shipping them old folks off when it was time to go out with her friends. Salute to you, Adea. You are learning very quickly. Get rid of the old people when it's time to go have fun.
Hello.
Salute to you, because they were there once. Now you get to remind them of how it feels to actually be young and cool. So
it's very humbling.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw that out. I got a kick out of it. Appreciate you for sharing that. That was funny. So, that's been it for this week. So let's get ready for week 5. I don't know. This is just me personally. Hopefully, week 5 gets kicked off with a bang with another Patriots loss this Thursday. That's just me though. But until next Tuesday,
I'm with you.
Absolutely. Until we talk to you people again. Thanks for listening. This has been the Defy Life Podcast, brought to you by Go Defy Life. Until we talk to you again, Defy Life.
Defy Life.
Defy Life.